Hello everyone and welcome to Shell Point Today for Monday, October 24th. I'm Dan Philgreen. On today's show, the Academy of Lifelong Learning will say happy birthday to America's first great woman composer. Marge Lee will bring us another Art Chat feature where she'll get to know more about artist Suzanne Bennett. And Michelle Tompkins will find out about disorders of the ear via the upcoming Health Connections class. But first, we want to remind you that there's a library book talk tomorrow in the Social Center on the island at 2:15 p.m. Dick Jacker of Palm Acres will review Carlo Rovelli's book, 7 Brief Lessons in Physics. The book is written for those with no background in science and tells the story of how modern physics has brought us closer to understanding the universe. Discussion and refreshments will follow the presentation. Coming Wednesday, it's the time for the Assisted Living Tea and Tour at King's Crown. An RSVP is required for attending to learn all about transitioning through the continuum of care at Shell Point. We want to make sure that this is as seamless and trouble-free as possible, and that begins with seeing and learning all about assisted living with the Tea and Tour. 9:30 a.m. Wednesday is the start time, and you can call 454-2077 to confirm your attendance. Also this Wednesday, Finemark Bank is holding an investment roundtable discussion. Come and get advice from the financial experts and answers to your questions. The event will be held from 10:30 until 11:30 in the Oak Room of the Woodlands. And finally on Wednesday, if you're a member of the National Mahjong League, then don't miss the Shell Point Mahjong Party from 12 noon till 3:30 in the Cove at the estuary. Come enjoy light refreshments while playing. Prizes will be awarded to winners in various categories. Space is limited, so be sure to sign up at either service desk. It's time to celebrate someone's birthday in a class at the Academy of Lifelong Learning. Teri Kollath and Randy Woods are here to talk about the life and music of Amy Beach, America's first great woman composer. Pianist educator Gail Smith will take you on a musical journey through the life of Amy Beach in tomorrow's class. And you'll find out more about that right now with Teri and Randy in this next segment.
Hi, I'm Teri Kollath. I'm here with Randy Woods, Minister of Music and Worship at the Village Church here at Shell Point. And he is bringing a wonderful opportunity to the Academy. Thanks for joining me, Randy.
Oh, my privilege, Teri. Thank you.
It has been so wonderful to work with you over these years and have the benefit of your passion for music.
Oh, it's my privilege. And what a joy to share, because we have so many talented people here in the community and a great opportunity to bring special guests to encourage and inspire us.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
We are going to have a birthday party for a woman who would be 250 years old, Amy Beach.
That's correct.
And why are we going to celebrate Miss Amy Beach for her
Well, you know,
birthday?
she's quite the significant American composer, the first woman composer.
That is significant.
Many compare her to Fanny Mendelssohn. But Amy Beach has a unique gift and place in history because of her own abilities as a musician, as a pianist. Most folks are aware of her Gaelic symphony, but as a young person, she had incredible musical skill that her parents acknowledged. By the time she was of the age of 1, she could sing over 40 songs.
No.
When she was 2, she was composing counter melodies with her mother. By the age of 3, she was already teaching herself how to read. By 16, she performed at Music Hall in Boston. And one thing that's very unique, and many scholars look at Amy's music interest because she often associated music and notes with various colors.
Interesting.
And she would say she would hear things in color. And oftentimes what she heard, she would compose in her mind those visions of color that she saw and would later write it down. So it's going to be very interesting to have this educational presentation with another gifted musician, Gail Smith.
Mm-hmm. Let's hear about Gail Smith. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, I came to know Gail years ago as a student because she would often be teaching in colleges around the country, teaching improvisation. She does that so very well. Many will recognize her because she served as the pianist on the TV program, the ministry of D. James Kennedy at Coral Ridge Presbyterian Church in Fort Lauderdale. So Gail was the pianist there, but she's quite the scholar. And she has spoken and given lectures internationally on other musicians, such as the Wesley brothers, Fanny Mendelssohn, and now Amy Beach is the person that she will present in first person to play some excerpts of her music and present to us the life, the history of Amy Beach.
We are delighted. I hope you don't pass up the opportunity to sign up for Happy Birthday, Amy Beach. Some history, some music, and birthday cake. It doesn't get better than that.
It's time to appreciate more art and learn about another talented Shell Point resident. Suzanne Bennett gets a visit from Marge today in this Art Chat segment where you'll see the beautiful paintings by Suzanne and learn about her inspiration and work.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Art Chat. I'm Marge Lee, and today we're in Turpin and chatting with painter Suzanne Bennett. Welcome, Suzanne.
Thank you. Welcome to you, Marge.
Art has been a big part of your life, I know, and beginning with your career. So let's talk about your career first of all.
Oh, my career. Well, I worked for 40 years as a graphic artist.
Okay. And you were doing this where? What part of the country?
Oh, I was always in Manhattan. I worked in book publishing.
And you've been producing painting that whole time.
Yes, well, when I first came to Shell Point, I was walking in the tunnel and Barbara Cox was in the art studio and she said, "Oh, come on in." And then she said, "Oh, get a lot." And then I ran the art show. I hadn't been to it, but
Got right into it.
Got right into it.
Okay.
So, but I have always painted since I've been here and painted more and more every year.
Now, talk to me about the type of painting that you do called plein air painting.
Oh,
Because I think that's great fun, and that may be a term that some folks are not familiar with. It's plein air.
plein air, it's from the French, it means outside, plein in the air. And they're outside painters, and the classic idea of plein air is that a painter goes to a place and sits down and paints it exactly as it is, as he sees it. And it's usually outside, although you can actually do that inside too. But classically, you're out in the wilderness somewhere or in a city. It's really a lot of fun. And honestly, for an artist, plein air is a kind of exercise. I mean, if you're a muscle builder, you go to the gym and you lift weights. And if you're a painter, you kind of do plein air as an exercise. You don't. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Well, let's see examples of plein air.
All right, all right.
I know you have some here for us.
All right, so these are real places that you'll know. This is a painting I did of Blind Pass. That's the body of water between Sanibel and Captiva. And it was a beautiful day, and here's some bathers.
Some people on the beach.
Yeah, had to move fast.
Okay.
This is another painting of a similar area. This is the Causeway Bridge.
I was going to say, that looks like the causeway.
Causeway Bridge, here's a big piece of beach and water.
So where were you actually
I
positioned?
was right here.
Okay.
Right here. I want to do more of the Causeway this year. I feel the Causeway
It's calling to you.
is calling to me.
Just not during season.
Maybe it's my association with bridges. I think that could be it. This is kind of a nice one I did on my birthday last year. This is on Sanibel. I can't remember which one of the resorts. We were sitting on the beach. It was a gorgeous day. And kind of nice clouds.
I love this. I love this work. You almost feel like you're right there on the beach.
Oh,
in this
thank
work.
you. Well, it was certainly a happy time. And I hope the painting looks like it.
Now, how long did it take you to do a painting
Oh,
like this?
I do this in about 2.5 hours.
Wow.
I just go, you know.
Wow.
In plein air, it does inspire one to move fast.
Do your paintings dry out at all?
Yeah,
or-
I have I spray them with water. I have a little
Oh,
squeegee.
okay.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah. This is an older one, but I'm actually showing you this. I
Yeah, it's
participate every year in a plein air competition in November that's sponsored by the Fort Myers Beach Art Association. And painters come from all over Florida. And this was the one I did a couple years ago. You have 4 days. You have to paint within the geographic area of Fort Myers Beach. And then they have at the end they have prizes and
A party,
party.
probably. Yeah. Party.
Party. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And you're walking around, who's painting what? Where are we gonna go? And
You do a different location every day?
you're allowed to submit 3.
Okay.
So you have 4 days. So maybe even you could do. I have not the energy for 4, but I usually do 2 or 3.
Okay.
So.
And what are we looking at here? It's obviously a boat.
Well, this is the shrimp fleet. I was actually quite a distance away. But the boats are very interesting. I mean, actually, some of my other paintings have been from the Fort Myers Beach shrimp boat fleet area because they're interesting to me. And the water is always interesting to me.
And what is the media world?
Oh, this was pastel.
Pastel?
For
I
the
thought it
first
was
couple
pastel.
years I was at Shell Point, I did pastels.
Ah.
And then I had a epiphany and changed.
And you changed. Pastel, explain what a pastel is.
It's a piece of chalk. It has the consistency of almost butter. They're very soft, and some soft ones and hard ones. Hard ones you can shape into a point like a pencil. The soft ones are like sticks of paint, and you can smear them, and they're a lot of fun. But you have to always cover them. They always shed. So there's a little bit of impracticality to it.
Okay. So you would always, so this work you would frame if you wanted to display
Yeah,
it.
it have to be under glass.
And isn't there a special paper that you're using for a pastel?
Oh, it's always done on sandpaper.
Okay.
You have to have a gritty paper to hold the softness.
So it actually kind of feels like
it holds-
sandpaper.
But the colors are very bright and pure and very exciting for an artist if you can deal with all the dripping mess. Whatever.
Tell us a little bit about, I know that when you have visited people in their homes, you were telling me a story that some people send thank you notes. You often give people a painting.
Oh, yes. Well, I recently had a long stay in New Jersey, and I painted some of my friends' homes. And this is a home I visited many times, and these people have been very kind to me. And I wanted to give them this. I think they'll enjoy it.
It's a very fun thank you
Oh,
card.
yes.
And what medium are we looking at?
This is
here?
acrylic.
Acrylic.
I often go out to dinner with my camera,
Okay.
and this house would be great. So this is a nice thing to do.
Now, was this a plein air work or was this a studio
No,
work?
I did this from a photo. This is not
Okay,
plein
so
air.
you took a photo and
And
and came back into the studio.
Yes,
And
yes,
and
and I
then
often
created
do a lot of editing in the photo. I use Photoshop and change them, and so I sort of half the job is in the photo, really.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, I know that you have some lovely works in the exhibition Ageless Creativity. So let's go over to the easel and show folks what you have entered in that exhibition.
Sure, let's do that.
Suzanne, here we are with your paintings that will be on display in the exhibition Ageless Creativity this February. 3 of your paintings, I believe, or is it 4? Tell us, 4 of your paintings have a boat theme. And tell us about the story this one is saying.
This is a boat picture that I painted from a photograph that my brother-in-law took, who is a good photographer and has always very generously shared his images with me. He and my sister have a boat that they keep in Anacortes, Washington, and they go into the San Juan Islands, and which are beautiful. And I just was very interested in the space between the 2 boats and the kind of neat shape this made.
And this is acrylic?
This is acrylic. All of these are acrylic.
Okay.
And then this is a second one from my brother-in-law's photographs, and it's a little abstract. And I liked how it was kind of serene and kind of an evening in a dock, probably somewhere on the coast of Canada, where the photograph was. And I kind of like those soft colors. So
Almost looks kind of foggy.
yeah. I think it's a nice time for boaters, and when the day's over and they're kind of coming into port and sitting.
And next we have
One
one of my favorite ones. Got it out there?
this is a third one.
Okay.
This is from another photo of my brother-in-law's, but I like this. I thought this was like a dawn image,
Very
sunset. I'm not sure which, but it's.
very strong image.
Yeah, thank you. I liked the shape that boat made. I thought there was something kind of mysterious about it, like coming at you. Liked it.
You feel like it's just ready to take off.
Back off,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Exactly so.
And I like the redness and the red coming down.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, you also have, I know, on display in the exhibition, a work that you have never before displayed.
Yes.
And it will be on display for the first time in the exhibition.
Yes.
Let's take a look at that.
Yes, this is a field from my old home neighborhood in New Jersey.
Beautiful work.
Thank you.
This almost, it looks like a marsh. Is it kind of
Yes, it's in the autumn. I took it from a picture I took in the autumn. Actually, it's very interesting because New York Harbor is right up here. And it's a sort of a very suburban New Jersey, has a lot of sort of quiet places that are hard to imagine unless you know where they are. But it's, I mean, I can sort of hear the crickets, it's August, September going on here.
Now, did you say this was plein air, or this is
No,
a studio work?
this I did from a photograph.
So you took a photograph,
Yeah.
went back
Yes.
into your studio.
Yeah.
And which is the way a lot of artists work. They'll go out and take a photograph, right,
Yeah.
and then come back.
Yes.
And work in the studio. Well, it's your works are really, really wonderful. This I'm particularly fond of. It does make you feel like you're right there in that marsh. It will be on display for the first time in the exhibition Ageless Creativity. And for all of our viewers, Ageless Creativity will open in the Cindy and Byrne Davis Art Center in downtown Fort Myers. It will open on February 3rd with an opening just for Shell Point at 1 o'clock. You'll be hearing more about that. And I should say thank you to our friends at Fine Mart Bank for being the sponsor of that exhibition. So Suzanne, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks.
It's been delightful chatting with you. Thanks to all of you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Common ear disorders such as ringing in the ear or dizziness caused by inner ear issues can be frustrating until treatment is sought. Dr. Travis Pfannenstiel will discuss hearing loss and what happens when hearing aids no longer work in this week's Health Connections class entitled Common Disorders of the Ear. He visits with Health and Wellness Manager Michelle Tompkins now to give us a preview.
Hi, I'm Michelle Tompkins of Resort Services. I am here with Dr. Travis Pfannenstiel, who we will welcome to Shell Point and our Health Connection program for the first time. Welcome, Travis. Thank you for being here. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Where is your practice and what brought you to Fort Myers?
I practice at Ear, Nose, and Throat Associates here in Fort Myers. We're at Bass and Summerlin. I've been here about a year and a half. Before that, I spent 13 years in the Army. I was in San Diego for 3 years in the Army. That was a tough assignment. I got through it. I spent another 3 years in San Antonio working at Brooke Army Medical Center. And before that, I did my residency and then in San Antonio, and I did a fellowship in Michigan in otology and neurotology.
What are some common things that you see on a daily basis in your practice?
The most common thing I see on a regular basis is cerumen impaction, actually. I mean, it's probably the simplest diagnosis and treatment in the ear, but by far and away the most common. It can really be frustrating, especially in people that wear hearing aids. It can be frustrating. If you even get just a little bit of cerumen, blocking up the port of the hearing aid, it can cause, feedback and blockage of the sound. Also, I deal with balance disorders. The most common balance disorder people have is benign positional vertigo, where every time they move, they get pretty severe vertigo. And that's fairly easily treated, either in my clinic or by a physical therapist.
Well, we have his program in the Health Connection called Common Disorders of the Ear. That will be Thursday, October 27th at 1 p.m. in the Oak Room. Now, Dr. Pfannenstiel, can you tell me one or two things about what you'll be addressing during your presentation?
I think one of the things that I want to bring up in the talk is kind of what is the role of an otologist or a physician in evaluating hearing and balance. There's a lot of different people that are involved in hearing and balance healthcare. Physical therapists, audiologists, hearing aid dispensers, and I think a lot of times there's some confusion as to what is the role of a physician. My primary occupation is as a surgeon. I do surgery on disorders of the ear and disorders of the balance. But the other thing that I do is medical evaluation of these disorders and kind of guide people through getting appropriate therapy. So that's certainly part of it. And then kind of introducing the concept of why do we have tinnitus? Why do we have hearing loss? And what kinds of things can we do for tinnitus and for hearing loss without harming the patient?
Well, thank you so much for being here. Be sure to sign up for October 27th, Common Disorders of the Ear, 1 o'clock at the Oak Room at the Woodlands.
And now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections, right after this Listening to the Words preview from David Howenstein.
This week's Listening to the Word show is about food and restaurants. That includes Jeanette Batko reading her own story about a waitress who started by slamming the glasses onto the table so hard that water and crushed ice sloshed onto the tabletop. That's followed by 2 heartfelt experiences at restaurants. Then, Food Memories by Jan Gardiano, who learned to prepare food in the African nation of Chad. Then learn about a vegetable soup whose 3 ingredients demonstrate the harmony in nature. Then 2 pieces highlighting the beauty and value of raw honey and of raw chocolate. You won't want to miss this program series' first ever public service announcement about a lively liquid food. David Howenstein reminding you that you can hear my latest program played twice each hour, all 7 days and nights this week on Shell Point's Channel 12. As always, thank you for listening to the words.
Hi everyone, and welcome to today's segment of Happenings of Shell Point TV. I'm Dora Robbins, and I'm here to tell you about all the events that are going to happen today at Shell Point. We're going to start at 8 o'clock with men's round robin tennis. We also have at 8 o'clock pickleball at the game court on the island, virtual bowling at 8:45, and that's at the Resident Activity Center. At 9 o'clock we have Fine Mark Shred It, that's at the Village Church. At 9:15 we have billiards at the Resident Activity Center. And at 9:15 we have the Lollygaggers Paddlers, that's at the kayak storage on the island. At 9:15 we have pottery. Instruction is available, that's at the Pottery Studio. And at 10 o'clock we have men's match play tennis, that's at the tennis courts at the Woodlands. At 10 o'clock, Susie Q is off to Mantanza on the Bay. Sign up is required. At 10:30 we have Disciple Men's Bible Study Group, that's at the game room at the Woodlands. And at 10:45 we have Table Tennis Playing Clinic, that's at the Tarpon Room on the island. At 11:30 we have Health Connection, Agility, Balance, and Flexibility, and that's at the Health Club, and that is closed. At 12 o'clock we have Hats Off to Fashion Show. That's at the Banyan Banquet Room at the club. That is full. And at 12 o'clock we have Mahjong, that's at the Sable Room on the Woodlands. At 12:45 we have Health Connections, Zuma Gold Fitness, and that's at the Health Club. Sign up is required. At 1:15 we have Samba Card Game, and that's at the Residence Activity Center on the island. The Model Train Room is open from 1:30 to 3:30. And at 1:45 we have Health Connections, Balance, Stability, and Strength, and that's at the Health Club. At 2 o'clock we have the Beady-Eyed Bead Club. That's at the Oak Room at the Woodlands. And at 3 o'clock we also have a Health Connections Pilates Bar Fusion, and that's at the Health Club. At 3:15 we have Shell Point Singers Rehearsal, and that's at the Choir Room. And at 3:45 we have another Health Connection, and that's Beginning Martial Arts, and that's at the Health Club. Sign up is required. And at 5 o'clock we have Singles Table at the Crystal Dining Room. And our last activity for today is Duplicate Bridge, and that's at 6:30, and that's at the game room at the Woodlands. Thanks, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Teri Kollath with your Academy information for Monday, October 24th. At 10:15, we have an iPad class, Talking to Type. It's in the Manatee Room of the island for those who have signed up. At 10:30, the Anatomy of Words class will meet again in the Oak Room of the Woodlands, and they welcome everyone. At 1:15, the Interwar years 1918 to 1939 will continue in the Social Center on the island for those who have signed up. We have 2 new classes coming tomorrow. First, we're going to welcome pianist educator Gail Smith to help us celebrate the birthday of the first female composer, Amy Beach. Join us for Happy Birthday, Amy Beach. Sign up at either service desk. And then we also have an iPhone class set up in basics with Bruce Findlay of Sundial.
Menus for Monday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is braised beef short ribs with Yukon Gold potatoes and asparagus. For dinner, they are featuring their dinner buffet for $14.95. The soup of the day is vegetable beef. In the Island Cafe, the sandwich special is chicken cordon bleu with a side tossed salad for $7.95. And the Palm Grill is closed on Mondays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to the Village Church Connections. I'm Don Pullen, and I'm here with David Pavey. And David and I are going to talk about something that's coming up, something that I've never done before here at the Village Church. But it's coming up this coming Wednesday on the 26th of October at 1:15 in the afternoon.
Coffee with the pastoral staff.
Coffee with the pastoral staff. Wow.
So this is designed really for people who are new to the church or new to Shell Point, or would like to get acquainted with the staff as we sit around in a circle and share a bit, and may have questions about the church. So it's an informal time. It's helpful when people let us know that they're going to come. We like them to call the office and say, I'll be there, but all are welcome, really.
Well, what's the format? I've never been to one of these before since I'm the new kid on the block. What do I need to get ready for?
We normally start with refreshments and coffee or a cold drink, and we sit in a circle and share. So initially the pastoral staff who are there will be able to share a little bit about their life journey and how they came to be at Shell Point and what their ministry is in the church. And then those who have come to meet us will do likewise if they'd like to do so. No one is under any pressure. So we get to know each other. And then Pastor Andy will typically give us a few insights about the church, how it works, and so on. And then there's time for questions. And so the time goes very quickly, but we spend about an hour together.
Great, great. That sounds good. This coming Wednesday, October 26th, 1:15 at the Village Church.
You got it. See you there.
Great. And this is the Village Church Connections. Hope you're having a great day.
Thank you for joining us for today's program. Return tomorrow when the Legacy Foundation will talk about Stocktoberfest. Beth Crenshaw will check in on the gift shop on the island to get the latest happenings there. And we'll learn about this week's Aviation Club meeting that will feature a live demonstration with a helicopter. Until then, this has been Shell Point Today for Monday, October 24th. I'm Dan Philgreen, thanking you for spending time with us today, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow.